everyone, welcome back to my channel. On today's video we are going to talk a little bit about Norwegian sounds. So sounds or exclamations that Norwegians make for different types of situations, basically. Some of these I hear everywhere, every day, and I myself have started to make some of these in certain situations. I feel like they're super handy. The one I'm going to start with, in my opinion, is the most common one, and it's the sound. So you use this sound mostly when you're agreeing with something. So if you're talking on the phone or talking to someone and that person is just like speaking with you and you're like, you're agreeing with what that person is telling you. On the phone is quite handy because if you're talking with someone, you'll know the person is on the other side listening to you because you just keep listening to But then you can also use it in like a surprise way, or in like a bad way, I guess. So this is the first sound, and I really think it's the most common one. The next one, in my opinion, it's something that some people really do it and some people don't really do it. When I lived in Trondheim, there was so many people who did this sound, and here in Oslo sometimes you have like one or two people, but not so many. And it's the yes sound in Norwegian, which is ja, but they kind of like breathe in when they say ja, so it's I don't know how to do it, but I can try. It's kind of like yeah, something like this, like yeah. I really don't know how to do it, but if you're Norwegian, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know where this sound comes from, if it's like when you're really excited when you say yes, or if it's just something like people do without even noticing, like it doesn't really have a purpose. If you know the reason, just write it down in the comments, because I'm not Norwegian, I'm Portuguese. I just moved to Norway in 2014, so all of these things I'm saying is like by experience, by living here all of these years. So if you're Norwegian and if you know this, please help me out in the comments down below. The next sound or like word or expression is when you don't understand something, you go like huh or huh. I know a lot of people in other countries do this as well. Like in Portugal, you do this sometimes, like huh, like what are you saying? But here in Norway, it's a little bit different. Maybe I'm not even like doing it correctly. When you don't understand, or when a person is speaking maybe a little bit like in a low voice, you do like huh, and some Norwegians put the hand like this, which I think it's so funny because it's not like you're going to hear better if you kind of like they do it without thinking, but they just like huh. The next sound, you do it when you are disgusted with something, when something is like disgusting or not very nice, and you do like ash. And this is also something you hear so much, even like when you're walking in the street, especially with younger like generations. There's like ash, you know, like oh, so disgusting. This one I've started to use sometimes as well when it's like super disgusting or like inconvenient or like ugh. I just use like ash expression. The next one is something that I have still to get used to. For me, it sounds very rude, although now I understand that it's not rude at all. It's just like an expression. But if someone would tell me this in Portugal, I would be like, what? You use this when you want to call someone, when you want that someone look at you, or like call that person, or like call his attention, you know, and you just say do, and it means you, like you there. In Portuguese it sounds so rude, like tu aí, tu. In English I think it also sounds a little bit like harsh at least, but in Norwegian it's so common, and sometimes Norwegians even start with this in the beginning of the sentence if they want to ask something to someone, and they would say like do you write the report? Or if someone like is passing by and they say like do. I'm still getting used to this. When people start talking with me like that, I'm like what? The next one, I think it's my favorite one, and it's uffa my. You say this when you're like surprised, but maybe not in a very good way, like oh my. Or for example, when you're telling an embarrassing story about yourself and you're like, you get like pity of yourself or like embarrassed of yourself, and it's like oof am I really don't know how to translate this expression to English. If you guys have like a better way of explaining it, just write it down in the comments because it's so hard. The next one, it's maybe used the most with like the younger generation, and it's sad, and it's like a shorter version of serious, which is seriously. Instead of they saying like seriously or serious, they say sad or said. I think it's sad. The next one is also one of my favorites, and it's herregud. And this means oh my god. You just use it like you would use oh my god if you're like surprised. The next one is a bad word, so you shouldn't like teach this to kids, I guess. It's not like the baddest thing of all. Like people say this even like at the office in something, so it's not so bad. It's like the acceptable bad word in Norwegian, and it's fan, but it's also a short for fy fan, which is like the bad word, but they just say the last word, so like fan. I wouldn't say it's like oh shit, you know. I don't know if I can say bad words in YouTube, so I'm really sorry if I'm offending someone. Yeah, you just say this when you hurt yourself, or when you're like surprised in the bad way, or when you do a mistake, you just do like, oh, fun. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a massive thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have more suggestions of like sounds or exclamations, just write them down in the comments below. And also tell us which of these expressions are the ones you use the most in like a daily basis. I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I'll see you next weekend with another video. Bye!